It don't happen, oh, my wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are. Before we proceed with the matter of the day, we're going to hear the headlines. United Nations suspends 8 flights in Nigeria. Monarch, jailed in US, orders his palace aides to seize ancient crown and royal beads. Voter registration. You are lacking behind everyone. Rufai tells Igbos. I don't get anything why I go talk for this Rufai matter. Make I quickly go to the one where concern me. Because they use us, they play kalo now. Rufai will come out today, condemn Christians. The same Rufai will come out tomorrow and go and be campaigning in the Catholic Church. Anyway, what do I know? What way concern me be say now this United Nations now they don't suspend 8 flights in Nigeria. What does that mean? Honestly, say this country called Nigeria now is gradually going from people's mouths. It is gradually leaving people's mouths. You won't know. You know, they say our country is an online country, but that online country is really dealing with Nigeria the way it ought to be. The first time was United States of America, Donald Trump. They don't stop USAID aid to Nigeria. Now it is United Nations. Nobody knows what we are doing. Not until this country crash on the ground. Tinubu knows. That was why he is borrowing. Tinubu came the other day and said, that they have made the August this thing. What do you call it? The August quota, so they don't reach them. Say no more borrowing again. On 3rd, he said that on 3rd of September. On 5th, Tinubu requested to borrow 1.78 billion. That is over 2 trillion naira to squander, because you know that this country will never be one. Stop lying to yourself. As an Igbo man, as a Biafran, and you are still shouting one Nigeria, my brother, you need to visit Yaba left or Yaba right. But Yaba left, because any mad people, they never go right way, they always go left way. So you need to visit Yaba left. I swear. Nigeria is mere geographical expression. Look at what Chimamanda, our sister, said in one of her articles. Sorry, she said that I was named a Nigerian. That is, a Igbo man came and created a country and called it Nigeria and gave it to me. That is how I find myself to become a Nigerian. But literally, I am not a Nigerian. Are you getting the point now? Anyway, let me know what's much of our time. They say time is money. Today is Sunday, please. Let us read in between the lines. But just know it that Mazen Namdekano's wars is really coming to manifestation, which he says, let me borrow it small. I will destroy Nigeria not with bombs, not with guns and bullets, but with facts and figures. It is happening now, or haven't it been happening? For the latecomers, my brother, we are dealing with them. I beg you, let us go there. If you get this message, help me to circulate it. The United Nations has halted a vital humanitarian aid service in Nigeria's troubled northeast, citing severe funding shortages that threaten to cut off aid workers and supply from conflict-hit communities. Nigeria News report that the United Nations Humanitarian Aid Service, managed by the World Food Programme, and its fixed wing operations last week after nearly a decade of supporting relief efforts in Borno and Yobe states and every other countries in Nigeria. In other words, they are cutting down everything completely. I know their aid is what will I call it? It's a time bomb, but let them cut it. These people are borrowing to spend and then expecting peanuts from outsiders. In 2024, UNHAS fixed-wing flight carried more than 9,000 passengers already this year. 4,500 humanitarian staff have relied on the service to reach affected areas. United Nations spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric told reporters in New York on Friday. For 9 good years, the service has transported humanitarian staff, medical supplies, and critical cargo to and from the epicenter of crisis in Borno and Yobe states. in a country that has experienced 16 years of conflict, where road transport remains extremely dangerous, air transport is essential. $5.4 million needed to sustain operations. Let them ask Nigerian government. According to the United Nations, the suspension came after repeated warnings that $5.4 million is urgently required to keep the service running for the next 6 months. Ask Tinubu to give you money. The United Nations Humanitarian Aid Service cannot continue without funding. $5.4 million is needed to return operational for the next 6 months. Without this funding, the humanitarian response in Northeast Nigeria risks being cut off from the very people it is meant to serve, Dujarric warned. Nigerians understand that the shutdown comes as the World Food Programme grapples with severe financial constraints. In July, the agency said it might be forced to suspend emergency food and nutrition aid for 1.3 million people in the Northeast. WFP's Regional Director for West and Central Africa, Margot van der Weerden, said, "We urgently needed $5.4 million just to sustain food and nutrition operation in the region for 6 good months." Nigerian government supports, but global donors still needed. Although the Nigerian government has emerged as the largest financier of the emergency response, the United Nations stressed that the international contributions remain essential to sustain the operation at a high level. And last but not the least, the United Nations noted that shrinking donors' budgets worldwide, driven by global economic pressures and competing emergencies in Gaza, Sudan, and Ukraine, have worsened the situation for Nigeria's northwest, where insurgency and instability have already displaced millions. The loss of a vital air bridge may further isolate vulnerable populations at a time when they can least afford it. The statement read. Also, Monarch, this one is Yoruba Boon, so they are all by now, they rule them from prison. The man don't go see everything, say nobody dare enter there until I serve my 4 years finish. Now you are going to see. Even a Igbo man, my brother, the whole X, Facebook, in fact, you know, go hear word. Everywhere we don't collapse. In fact, we don't run come up for them. Now look at them now. They are all by the rule them from prison. And everywhere was quiet. We didn't hear the voice of that monkey called Abike Dabiri Eriwa. Anyway, also Monarch in the U.S. ordered palace head to seize ancient crown and royal beads. The ancient crown and royal beads from the palace of the Apetu of Ipetumendu in Ife, local government area of Osun State, have disappeared. This development comes barely 2 weeks after a U.S. District Judge, Christopher A. Bayoko, sentenced Oba Joseph Oloyede to 56 months imprisonment over $1.2 million COVID-19 fraud. The disappearance of the ancient Are crown and royal beads has been linked to aides and loyalists of the monarch, who, according to the source, allegedly ordered the removal of the items from the palace. According to the Nation, the ancient crown and royal beads have disappeared from his house, which doubles as a palace. He had demolished the ancient palace and moved all the paraphernalia of the stool to his home. The aforementioned publication gathered that a woman and some of his aides were tasked to evacuate the crown and the beads. The disappearance of the items portends a grave dilemma for this town whenever the need arises for enthronement of a new monarch to replace Oloyede. A chieftain from one of the leading ruling houses said, he said the crown is missing and the mastermind has no idea of what they are doing and the backlash in our town. They are looking for the fury of the deities of this great ancient community, and it will be in their best interest to return the crown and royal bead before it is too late. Oba Oloyede, who holds dual Nigerian and American citizenship, was arrested in May of 2025 in the U.S. alongside one Pastor Edward. Oloyede's conviction has stirred calls for his replacement among princes and ruling houses jostling for the throne. When the publication visited Ipetumendu during the week, the once bustling community was palpably tense. Although economic life continues with no disruption, the atmosphere was heavy with disappointment and uncertainty in the community, noted for a rich royal heritage and traditional leadership. Streets and markets were bustling with commercial activities amid hushed conversations as residents weighed the shame and embarrassment against their loyalty to the revered stool. Voter registration. You are lacking behind, El-Rufai tells Igbos. Former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has asserted that the people of the Southeast are lagging behind the rest of Nigerians regarding the voter registration exercise. Nigerians report that El-Rufai stated this on Saturday at an event in Imo State. El-Rufai, a former minister of federal, appealed to Igbo mothers and daughters to take voter registration seriously, stressing that leaders are not selected or appointed. Who told you? But now on a big election against I don't even know why they read this news. He said because the governance of our country today is democratic. We elect our leaders, we don't select them, we don't appoint them. So voting is important. Registering to vote is a civic duty. This is not a political imperative, it is a civil duty, which as a citizens you must take advantage of. Looking at the numbers of the continuous voter registration or registrar in Nigeria in the last 2 weeks, the Southeast, including Imo, of course, are lagging behind the rest of Nigeria. I want to appeal to you, our mothers, our sisters, our daughters that are in this room. Please take this up and get your children that are 16 years and above, who will be 18 years in 2 years, and ready to vote. So please go out and register to vote. It is very, very important. Anyway, my people, now you have to take a break. Please like, share, comment, and make sure you keep subscribing for more interesting videos. I'll be hear my voice again when I come back. Messiano, my wonderful people.